Hello, my name is Joy Lambert, and I am a reference and instruction librarian at Pollock Library. This video will be an introduction to the database called Academic Search Premier. Academic Search Premier is a great, really big, general research database, and is a good database to go to when starting any research project.
To get to the databases, first visit the library's homepage, library.fullerton.edu. Once at the library's homepage, click on the Databases icon. From here, you can find Academic Search Premier on the alphabetical list.
Academic Search Premier is an EBSCO database. EBSCO is a company that owns many databases the library subscribes to. They all look the same and generally all work the same. Some databases may have some functionality specific to them, but overall, all EBSCO databases work the same. So when you learn how to search one, you basically know how to search them all. When you go into any EBSCO database, you'll notice the blue and green EBSCO host icon in the top left corner, the blue toolbar at the top of the screen, and the 3 search boxes. Above the top search box, you will see the name of the actual database you are searching. That can be helpful to you as the researcher to know where you have looked, and it can also be helpful to you if you ever ask a librarian for help. One of the first questions a librarian will ask you when you are asking for research help is where you have searched so far. If you know you've already searched Academic Search Premier, that can help us as we give you guidance going forward. If you scroll down, you'll see the search options or limiting tools available in Academic Search Premier. EBSCO databases can focus on different subject areas, so depending on what subject is covered in the database, you'll find different limiters or search options. Since Academic Search Premier is a pretty general database, the limiters are also fairly general. The one limiter I would like to point out is the one for scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. Sometimes your professors will require you to use peer-reviewed articles for your research. Most library databases have a box you can check to help with that. So let's say I was working on a research project that wanted to answer the question, how has technology affected interpersonal relationships? From that research question, I would distill down the keywords or search terms that I wanted to put into the database. Research databases are not like Google. You can't put a question into the search box. It will confuse the database. So you need to pick out the keywords you can put in to tell the database what you're searching for. I'd also encourage you to think of other similar words or synonyms you can use to describe the concepts you are researching. Sometimes the keywords we first think of don't always work as well in the databases as we hope, and we have to retool the search a bit. For my topic, I will search technology in the first box and interpersonal relationships in the second. I like to keep each concept in its own box. That way, if I have to modify the search using different keywords, everything stays organized. Now I'll click Search. So my search brought back a lot of results. I'm going to use some of the tools in the left margin to help me refine my results a bit. I've already got peer-reviewed journal articles checked. Next, I want to find articles that were written fairly recently, so I'm going to use the publication date limiter to find articles published within the last 5 years. You can use the sliding tool, or you can type in the year. I'm going to type in 2015 and hit enter. That's still a lot of articles. I'm going to take a look at the subject headings under Subject Thesaurus Term. If I click Show More, a list of subject headings will appear. Each article in the database has subject headings assigned to it to help describe what it is about. When you do a keyword search, the search is a little more general. Using subject terms with the Subject Thesaurus Term limiter will make the results more focused. The articles will actually be about those subjects rather than just have a keyword in the title or description of the article. Make your selections by checking the boxes and then click Update. There are more options available if you want to narrow your results even more. As I start to look through the results list, I can tell what articles are available full text in Academic Search Premier. Any that have HTML full text or PDF full text can be accessed by clicking on the link. However, I'd really encourage you to look at all of the articles in your list and not just the ones that have the full text in the database you are searching, because the full text might be in another library database. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Looking through the list, if I click on the titles of any of the articles, I'll be taken to what is called the record for the article. The record contains all of the descriptive information about the article, including what is needed to build a citation, as well as the abstract, which is just a brief summary of the article. You'll also see all of the subject headings assigned to the article. This can be helpful to give you ideas about other terms you can use to search for articles on your topic. If I read the abstract and decide I want to read the full article for my research, then I'm going to look for how I can access the full text. If the full text is available in Academic Search Premier, there will be a link to either the HTML or PDF version. In the record, the links for full text will be in the left margin. If the full text is not available in this database, look for the Find It at Pollock Library button. This button can be found in all library databases. If the full text is available in another library database, there will be a link to it, and you can click on that, and it should take you to the full text of the article in the other database. If the full text is not available in another library database, you can click Sign in for more options, use your portal login, and request it as an interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan is the sharing of books and articles between libraries. You can make a request for your article, and a library that owns the full text will scan and email you a PDF of the article. If you've never used ILLiad before, you can quickly set up an account. If you have used ILLiad, you'll just need to log in with your portal login, and from there you will be able to easily request your article. It will take some time to get the articles though, possibly as long as a week. So start your research early so that you will have time to get any articles you might have to request. For articles that are available in the database I'm searching, in this case Academic Search Premier, clicking on the link will open the full text. If the PDF version is available, that is the version you want because it looks just like it was when it was published in the journal. From here, you can email yourself the full text by clicking on the envelope icon, putting in your email address, and clicking Send. You can also download the PDF to your computer. If the HTML version is available, it's still the full text, it's just not formatted as nicely as the PDF version. Academic Search Premier also has a citation tool. When you are in the record for the article, you'll see it in the right margin. It looks like a yellow sheet of paper, and if you click on it, it will show you examples of how to cite this article in various citation styles, including APA, Chicago, and MLA. These examples, however, are rarely 100% correct. So use this as your starting point and then double check with your style manual or other citation resource to make any necessary corrections. Another tool I'd like to point out is the permalink function. Sometimes when students do research and they find an article they'd like to read later, they either bookmark it or copy and paste the URL somewhere. Unfortunately, these links are not stable and will change over time. I've helped many a student who tried to keep track of their articles this way, and when they went back to either read or cite the article, they couldn't find it. This almost always happens around finals time, and it's very stressful. So please don't keep track of your articles that way. One way to avoid this is to use the permalink, and you can find it here by clicking on this little link icon in the right margin. This is a stable link, and if you keep a list of those, you should be able to get back to the articles you found while searching. And there you have an overview of Academic Search Premier, a great database to use for any research project. Happy researching!